All right, guys, we got a very special guest. We are joined by Jess Mineo, brand director of Bleecker Trading. We're going to talk the hobby. We're going to talk about all the stuff she's been getting into. I think she's got a card on eBay. We're going to talk about that as well. Jess, how you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, the hands are a little tired from Bowman. How about your experiences with Bowman?
Listen, I wish my hands were tired. I used to be a breaker, so my best days were breaking cases of Bowman. Complaining about sore hands, I was okay with it as long as I was pulling those big cards. But this year, honestly, I got tripped into a few boxes, and we actually had a Bowman release party as well as a few events at Bleecker. And I was with some guys from actually Ludex, and they pulled. Well, I think I opened the pack, but it was an Otani, the anime Otani, and I was
Oh,
just like,
nice.
wow, yeah, it looks beautiful in person. I really like this year's Bowman. Um, so
Yeah, and you guys have a great promotion that if you pull any Dylan Cruz Chrome or Chrome autograph that through in the store through Black Jaded Wolf, which I love sharing, you guys are going to send that out to grading for free. Like, talk about how the action's been with Bowman in the store.
So to be honest, we usually do little promos like that around releases. We want to bring everybody into the store. So that was on release day, but we continue to do that stuff throughout the weeks and for different releases. So that really brings a bunch of people into store, especially after work or after school, people are coming in and you're just looking for that. And especially when you're not hitting autos or you're not hitting those big hits, but you're able to get one of the top prospects, if not the top, graded for free. It's just awesome. And it's something that we like to give back to the community. And of course, Sharon Black Jade Wolf, shout out, is amazing. So just working and doing that through a lot of releases we do that with is just awesome. Again, we're just trying to give back to the community and also have people come and hang.
Nice. Yeah, I know you guys had Micah Parsons in the store not too long ago. I saw a picture that he looked like he was very interested in the pizza that you guys had in the store. Did he get a chance to open some packs?
Yeah, so actually Micah is awesome. Micah comes by a decent amount, and that day it was Kids Day. And I think we announced it the day before that Micah was coming, and he definitely ripped some packs with the kids. We were looking for his rookie card, and he gave out a bunch of packs with the kids. And then as well took photos in the backyard. And then actually it was like 45 minutes that it was a Q&A with kids. That was the coolest part.
Nice.
These kids just asking the coolest questions. Honestly, one of the better Q&As I've ever seen with an athlete. Questions like, who do you think you could beat on a one-on-one like basketball match, like hoops? Like, who would you love to like go up against, like sumo wrestling? Just crazy stuff that these kids were very knowledgeable about, especially like, how do you feel about this draft position? Because it was right after the draft, and it was just really amazing. And yeah, he did love that pizza. So we have Lit Industry, and we usually partner
Yeah.
up with them. There's like so many pizza places on our block. It's amazing. But he loved the pizza.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little East Coast, West Coast thing. Me being California, we got New York. I think you guys win in pizzas from what I've tried and out there. So I'm anxious for Fanatics Fest to get another good slice of pie in there. So what's the pizza place of choice?
Honestly, people usually go with Joe's, and like, I really like what's around us. I like Lit Industry when it's hot. Made in New York has become one of my favorites, to be honest. It's really good. It's fresh. And now there's Mama's too, which is right by us. So
Okay.
it's hard to have a favorite when they're all really good. It depends on what you're going for.
Yep. I've been to New York once to go to Topps headquarters. How far are you guys pretty close to the Manhattan Topps headquarters?
We're like 4 blocks away. So we're
Wow.
very lucky
Nice.
that a lot of Topps employees are collectors, to be honest. I don't know if anybody knows that, but a lot of these Topps employees are collectors. And we have a lot of regulars who come in, and whether they're just browsing through the dollar bins or, grabbing a few packs, hanging out, a lot of them do come hang out and support our events and just hang out. They like to see the hobby. They like to see the community. So like Bowman release day, I think we had like 15 staff members come through. Anywhere
Nice.
from Jeremy, who is part of the creative with the cards, to Sally, who's social media, and then a few other members who aren't really that involved with cards, but who are trying to learn. So that's always fun for me, is getting to meet them, faces to this big company, and make it
Yeah.
humanized. So yeah, we're right there. It's really cool.
I actually got to give a shout out to Bleecker. This wasn't even in my notes today, but like I actually made a great friend. You guys kind of hooked up the Zero Cool Jackass product and made it happen. And we had Jason Weeman in the studio to do a promo with us. And next thing I know, we just start hanging out, and I got to go to his 50th birthday party and talk to one of the producers there that kind of hooked up the whole thing. And I was like, and this all started with Bleecker. So I was like,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Yeah, well, I
He's a
think that
super
was
rad dude.
right. He's amazing. He when he comes by, like I think he came by last year, and he always comes by. Him, Eric Andre, like Eric Andre rocks our merch. All those guys are awesome. Dark Shark came out when we were out in LA and came to one of the events.
Nice.
It was just super cool. I mean, I still have a sealed box of it, and I will never give it away because it's the Bleecker blue edition. But yeah, no, I remember that. That's from when Zero
Oh, you
Cool
guys got
first
a
came out.
special? That's awesome. I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I kept a
yeah.
few. I had Jason sign a few, and I kept them. And we had a lot. I think we had like 100 cases or something, and we don't have any left. I had to buy another case. So, oh, look at that.
So that's
Nice.
John Cliver, Wee Man. I forget. There's a few others on there, and then I have the DVD. It was just super cool to have that. And
Yeah.
I remember them reaching out and saying, we want to bring some talent to other shops. And I remember we threw your name out there. I know Monster got some talent, so I'm happy to remember that.
Yeah, that was really fun. And it's nice to do stuff that's like, I mean, not that baseball cards are boring, but to have something different that you don't see every day and have a release like that. And it was really well done with the colored boxes and the different chase, the 0 of zeros. And I love that product. I hope they do something similar or maybe a series 2 with it.
I agree. I hope either Zero Cooler Tops, brings that back, because I love entertainment cards. I have a Katy Perry signed card behind me. It's just the weird stuff that people love collecting when they're collecting, that you can kind of branch out and also bring people into the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of non-sport, are you guys gearing up for a big Lorcana release tomorrow?
So we carry it in the shop. I like ripping it myself. We do more Pokemon, and yeah, we're gonna have it in the shop because we try to have everything. But I know you guys are gearing up.
Yeah, I just posted a video with my daughter. I can finally convince her to go on camera. So I did a little promo video of the Lorcana release, and it was really fun. She was very animated, singing the songs, and I got that thing up on Instagram. But yeah, we have a pretty big group of Lorcana collectors in the store. But like you guys, we try to carry a little bit of everything, and some things don't move, some things don't. But seems like there's a little bit of buzz on this one. I mean, we had people coming in asking about the play mats, like they wanted them, and I guess those are limited. So Disney collectors are wild.
Yeah, I gotta get some Lorcana play mats. All right, thank you for that little.
Yeah. I guess they have like different versions. Like there's like Tinkerbell, there's Bruno, there's all these different ones that I think they normally sell for $15. I went on eBay, it was like $65. I was like, holy crap! So stuff's going up.
Hey, I might pick one up if I can choose it. I'll pick it up. Sometimes it's worth it.
Right. So you mentioned Katy Perry. If you could have a card of any musical artist, what would you have?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one for me. I think Eminem.
Okay.
The reason being is that's the Real Slim Shady. This is so funny. The Real Slim Shady is the one song I know how to rap like back and front. Not gonna do it here.
So if we get you, we do karaoke, then that's your go-to.
100%. I promise you. You can get me. I will do that. Yeah, because I mean, I was asked this question once, and it was Radiohead, but that was just my favorite song. High and Dry, but High and Dry actually, little underrated, but Creep is a great song too. So yeah, I'd say Eminem.
Definitely the more one that people know with that band. But yeah, they're a great band. I've listened to them before.
And also Eminem actually collects.
He does.
He does, yeah. He's got a crazy collection of cassettes. So if you ever, I think it was on Instagram recently, and he's been collecting for like 10 years, and his whole back wall is just cassettes, sealed cassettes.
Does he grade them, or he just keeps them sealed?
They're not graded. I'm sure that he might do that one day, just if somebody were to approach him and be like, hey man, this is why people grade stuff, is to preserve. It also increases the value. I don't think that anybody's really approached him yet. I don't know if, maybe I should try to get in touch. And
Yeah,
let
or
them
you
know.
just like, I just want to collect. I don't care about grading. And a lot of us are like that in this community anyway. Grading doesn't matter. But I remember when Stevie Aoki announced that he was doing the grading of the music, I bought a few tapes that were sealed. I was on eBay. Like, I lost interest quick, but I bought like 3 or 4 tapes to keep. Like, maybe I'll grade them, but never did. I actually collect vinyl, so and listen to vinyl, and because you get the artwork and stuff like that. And I like, kind of like that aspect of it.
For sure. For sure. No, I love that too. We're actually working DJ Ski Snoop Dogg, and the Realist is coming to Bleecker on the 21st and hosting an event. So I'm sure
Nice.
some items are going to be graded, ungraded, just a cool showcase. Like, that's the fun stuff. We get to bring both worlds and cultures together. But just a
Yeah,
little
DJ
example of,
Ski, we did a loop event with him. He's very knowledgeable in cards. You would be surprised. He loves it, and such a really down to earth guy for what he's experienced in his life.
For sure. He's a great friend of ours, and honestly a great friend of mine. I launched the eBay live shopping platform with him.
That's right.
Bleecker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all in the hobby, right? These hobby people, they've gone through so much, but they're still loving the hobby, and that's why they're so accessible to us. It's cool.
That's awesome. Now for that Snoop Dogg ski, can we promote that yet? Can we tell people when that's happening in shop?
Yeah, it's happening Tuesday the 21st. Just come on by, Bleecker Trading.
Nice.
And again, if you look at our Instagram page, you'll see all the upcoming stuff. We'll have other events coming up we kind of do this kind of stuff here and there, but that's a little short notice. This Tuesday. But otherwise, awesome. We do a lot of showcases, a lot of kids trade nights. We're doing some PSA drop-off submissions. We started doing TCG nights, so we had our first one of those, and it was epic. And
nice.
Yeah, we just keep on rocking and rolling. Obviously, Fanatics Fest is coming up, so that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you guys are going to get some overflow. Yeah, be so close. I'm jealous.
The hobby in the city, that's going to be, it's mind-blowing to me. I still can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, and I have a question about that coming up, but I wanted to take it back to the humble beginnings and ask you what the first break you did on camera and what year was that?
Okay, so I know this it was 2020, early 2020. And I remember saying I was never going to be a group breaker because I was like, oh, I don't want to sort. It was just by myself. But it was 2020 Series 1. It was when Luis Robert, it was his base, like his true rookie card. And the variations were cool. There was one with sunglasses, the bleachers. And that was my first break. And I remember I opened up a jumbo box. It was the first box. And I pulled a short print. It was black border, I think out of 71.
Okay.
In the first box.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, this is fun. And then I opened up some 2017 optics that same night, pulled the Patrick Mahomes out of 10 patch. I was like, what is going on? Like beginner's luck. But it was just up from there.
It was a sign. It was an omen to get into it.
Yeah. I sold through like 2 cases of personals, maybe 3, and then just sold everything on the table. It was mosaic. Like it was just amazing. The thrill of ripping.
Now,
and
back then, were you with Mojobreaks at the beginning? I with Jonathan. I was trying to remember because I remember it always come up on my timeline, and I was like, oh, that's cool because I would follow him. Were you doing breaks with him?
So Sully, Michael O'Sullivan, Sully and I were breaking the Mojobreaks Facebook group. So we had the full community in there. So we were sponsored by him. You know, he was there. I think he stopped breaking at that time, but we were breaking in that Facebook group.
That's awesome. We never got into the Facebook, and I always was jealous about because we started in 2010, and so we went full on website, but like just the community aspect was so cool, and we never really could get that aspect of the breaking, but like you just have so many like comments and people like into it, so it was really awesome to see that happen.
And to be honest, I know you guys broke on loop. I think at one of the Mint or at the National, you guys had that special break party, and that's when I actually, it was very exclusive. I was in the room with you guys while you were doing that, and I went from Facebook to Loop, and a lot of the guys came over just because of that strong community that was built around in the Facebook groups. But we were able to bring them over, and honestly, I do miss breaking, and I miss those guys, and they'll hit me up, and I'll obviously respond, but all of it just comes full circle to us still talking today, and them hitting me being like, oh, I'll be in New York. I'm like, please come by. Like, I'll make sure I'm at Bleecker. Let's just hang out. So Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
That first break,
it's funny. The community's large, but then it's like small at the same time. It's like everybody kind of has their circles, and it all kind of comes back together of who people know in the hobby, and especially the business side of it, right? So it's funny how that works.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, that first break really, really catapulted me into loving it and wanting to do it, and to now missing it.
Was that during the we call it the pandy because sometimes they block it on here, but was that during the pandemic? I'm assuming that was around that time, right? In 2020.
It was like right before, or if not like a few
Okay,
weeks into it, like nobody knew it was going to be what it was.
right.
Like it was right before, I think 2 months before all the cards just went up like
Started,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, but
mean, we thought that nobody was going to buy cards. We're like that nobody's going to buy cards. Everybody's going to save their money, but it was quite the opposite. And I don't think with this industry would be where it is. I don't think Michael Rubin would have stepped in without. And I know it's a negative. The pandemic is obviously a negative, but it turned our industry in essentially a positive by helping it grow.
100%. I think that a lot of people got in during it. I think that a lot of people who were there before it benefited a ton. And I think that some people got stuck, which is, it is what it is. But I think now it's grown immensely. And yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Corbin stepping in, like, and what they're doing and what they're going to be doing and getting more people into it. I mean, it's awesome. I know so many people who turn
Yeah,
this
I feel like even
hobby.
though we've been here for so long, it feels like we're still at like the beginning in the sense that what they've been doing, and like I have friends now that don't even collect. They're like, "Oh, I saw that video of Tom Brady about his card," and I'm like, "You would never have that before." Like Ruben and Fanatics stepped in. It's like the card
Yeah,
companies would do as little as they could to promote it.
yeah, and especially a lot of these people, like shop owners or even people who weren't shop owners, they were able to make this hobby an actual full-time job. Um,
Yeah,
for a lot of people, it was their side hustle, or it was only a dream that you could actually do something in this hobby that could turn into the industry and be on the corporate side. So that's where I'm thankful that I played my cards right, I guess, and I got lucky, and I'm able to do what I love.
well, you got that entrepreneur mindset. That helps out. So. I wanted to ask about this card here. It's pretty awesome that you got a card in Topps Big League. You're actually currently outselling Yamamoto rookies. What was that? 20-1, by the way. His cards are like $2. I saw yours like $20, $30. It was like, wow, outselling Yamamoto. And I don't like the Dodgers, so that's fine by me. What was that experience like?
Well, first off, thank you for that. That just like made me really happy. Not just the fact that it's cool that I'm outselling a MLB superstar kind of guy, but that's very humbling as well. Like the experience was awesome. I've been a collector. I've been in the hobby since before 2017 is when I got back into it. So through YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. I'm the influencer, but I don't like to be called that because I just believe that I want to be impactful. I want to be intentional. And if I influence people by my, how I act and what I do and what I believe in, that's what I want to be. So, I think Topps recognize that and they've been around. So hopefully being a positive figure is why I got on that card. And I think that's why, but it was the coolest thing, especially I found my card. I was ripping through boxes.
How many boxes did it take?
So Topps didn't send me any. I got 12 of my own cards, which was cool. But I bought some from Cards Infinity, some from Sportsnut, like just all over. I bought different boxes,
Yeah.
hoping that I'd increase my chances. But it only took at Bleecker, we ripped through like 2 cases and I couldn't find it. And then the next day, I was ripping. It was on my second box, and I pulled it. And I have it recorded. I just haven't posted it yet. And I almost cried.
Nice.
It was before work, so I couldn't really cry.
Yeah.
Couldn't cry, but it was like 7 a.m. And I was just like,
Oh my God.
and it was the best feeling in the world. And to be able to have that and give it to I just had a nephew. I gave one to him. He's a baby, but my parents were like, "We're so proud of you," and just to be on a baseball card, that's all I've really ever dreamed of.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a great story. And I love what they do with that. Like they have, Stephanie on there and they had it the year prior. And I think it really, is a good set to like let people know who's, doing good things in this industry and, who to look up to and who to follow. And maybe even some of these kids will be like, that's what I want to be, which is awesome. Right. So, which kind of leads me into my next question. What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
You never know what's next. I think that sometimes the unknown is kind of scary, but to me, it's exciting. I think that as an entrepreneur and having an entrepreneurial mindset, nothing is ever enough because I just keep looking to improve. So if it's not being done, I want to do it. I always look to elevate what we're doing at Bleecker and, bring new things to what everybody else is doing, because I think that if you keep on moving and if you're passionate about learning and making yourself feel uncomfortable, that's the best thing you can do. So, my favorite
Absolutely.
part about it is there's never a moment that is like, okay, I'm done. There's always something that's next. And I think that's my favorite part.
Was that like deep rooted? Did you play sports growing up that you kind of used that to like, be challenged in that? Or was it just kind of something you always had?
I think it was something I always had. My dad was a really hard worker. I played sports, but I wasn't all that good. I've always loved working my whole life. I worked anywhere from like serve shop to TGI Fridays to actually open up my own company with my dad.
Nice.
I was a produce broker.
Nice. Like
Didn't know
vegetables and stuff like that?
it was mostly tomatoes, potatoes, and Brussels sprouts.
Wow. That's essentials.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody
Yeah,
needs them.
so, my dad worked his whole life doing that, like 6 to 7 days a week. And one day things went a little sideways. Somebody passed. And I was like, hey, Dad, like, why don't we just broker it? I got this. And I did it. And I didn't know how to do it, but I just did it. And in that time, I was my own boss. I got bored. And that's when I got back into sports arts. I always like doing more than one thing. So I guess
Yeah, and it's fair to say with any entrepreneur, like taking chances, right? I mean, I think anybody that's listening to this and they're like thinking about, doing something different than they're doing now and starting something new, I think, is it fair to say like taking a chance and not being afraid to fail is kind of the word to go by?
Yeah, 100%. And also, I mean, a quote that I live by is, what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? So if you live your mindset like that every day, and if you're taking chances, you're failing by not taking chances. Exactly what you said, just a little different wording. But yeah, I know Gary Vee, I just saw a quote he did, but he was like, if you're not setting yourself up to fail 4 times a day, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
But yeah, don't be afraid to fail, because it can't be that bad.
Yeah, Gary Vee texts me every day. I don't think he knows he's texting me, but I get texts every day on his text line, and it's motivation.
Do you actually?
I think it's directly to me. No, it's like a community thing. But like I'm like, oh, Gary Vee, and then it's like 3 times a day for the last 2 years now. So I don't read all of them, but he's great.
That's why you're so successful, is because
it's Gary Vee, all my success. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All the motivation. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not I'm not a follower or anything like that. It was just on Instagram when you're scrolling and you kind of just get that little nudge. It's kind of cool to see people align and see the same kind of attitude and push that you need.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he's authentic, I think, which is key. Like, I remember one of his videos, he like was dropping F-bombs, and you never would hear that like on motivational speakers on Instagram. I'm like, all right, this guy's being real. He's dropping F-bombs. So this is cool. I'm going to tune in. And that was before I even got into sports cards. And it was like, wow, this guy's very motivating. So
yeah, no, we've had events with V friends. Gary's come by, he's shopped with us. I've met him a few times. He is a great, genuine guy. So no matter what,
I think some of the best are. I think some of the best are, right? They're all genuine people.
They've got to be. That's why they're the best.
Absolutely. What is something you're doing now that you never thought you would do?
My full-time job is actually an event producer for Cogent Marketing. That's my more than 9 to 5. So I never thought in a million years that I'd be working with brands like Modelo, Corona, Pacifico, going to Utah, building out these awesome engagements, working with Redken to do a billboard in New York City in Times Square. I never thought that I'd be able to kind of adapt to the corporate and marketing and be a producer. So that's probably living in the heart of New York City with that. It's really crazy where my life has brought me. And with that, Mark Zablo, the founder of Bleecker and also Cogent, kind of put me up to that challenge, I guess, because he saw a lot in me. And I never thought that I'd be able to juggle both and love both at the same time.
That's awesome. If I'd have known that, we could have had Coronas. We'd had a different type of a podcast, and do our little promotion, and we were chilling.
Next time I'll send you some. We'll
Yeah,
send you some.
exactly. There we
I'll
go.
send it.
That's right.
Listen, we'll make this a thing. Modelo Corona. We'll just send you some. We'll do a podcast. I'm totally cool with it.
I don't think there's a beer podcast in the hobby, so it might be something to latch onto.
No, there's not, but I've been able to so actually Corona Innings Fest in Tempe, Arizona, they hired me to do a card break. So Corona's really getting involved because they're the official beer of the MLB.
Okay.
So when they activate, they're really trying to bring cards, collectors, and all that kind of stuff in. And I really do use cards and collecting as some of my business pitches and some of the ideas that I'm bringing to the table, because who doesn't love collectibles?
Exactly. Yeah. Is that I think I saw it on your Instagram with you had the headset on. Was that the event that you were doing? Nice.
One of them. Yeah. I think
That's
that
awesome.
was either at the All-Star game or at the Innings Fest, which was a music festival.
That's it. We got an idea. Beer and cards. I mean, Coronas and cards. I mean, kind of works out. I mean, might have to get a spinoff,
I think we should do it.
Definitely. Back to the card stuff. What is one card that you really wanted, but you haven't been able to get?
52 Mantle.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of on my list too. I'll take a 1.
Yeah, I'll take a 1 in a million %. But besides that, let's go modern. I want an RPA of Patrick Mahomes, like an NT RPA.
Yeah, that's
big money, but
that's one that's
it's
safe.
just well, I like him. I've liked the Chiefs since Alex Smith. My younger brother got me involved. So whenever I tell people, they're like, "Oh yeah, clout." I'm like, whatever. Patrick Mahomes' voice, I can't stand it, but I think he's a generational quarterback. So.
Well, I'm a Niner fan. Actually, I can walk to Levi Stadium behind me here, but Alex Smith was a former 49er too, so I always appreciated him when he went to the Chiefs. But yeah, the Chiefs have been our daddy for a while now.
I have so much respect for the Niners, though. So much respect for the Niners. You got Bosa. You got your guys are just tough. They are just lean, mean, fighting machines. Like, I always get nervous when we're playing against them. Honestly, I think, that last game for the playoffs, I was scared. I was standing up. I couldn't breathe. So.
Yeah, it's always we play them again here this year. The Chiefs. Maybe we got to do a collab and you come out and watch the game with us or something. I think it's later in the year, September or something. But we're hoping we get over the hump and we could beat them. Yeah, Corona's Chiefs
football podcast. Let's just go. I'm sure that we're going to throw 3 more things in there before the end of this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we will have Jason Weeman come down. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. So
I love that.
I'm sure he likes Coronas. So, I mean, he's down.
He does. Or Modelo. I think he was a Modelo guy.
He's actually more of a Modelo guy, but I'm sure he'll go with Corona. So
Modelo works too, though. I work for Modelo too. So we're good.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, I love micheladas, and I only have micheladas with Modelos. So that's my drink. Yeah, it's amazing. So, what was my last? Oh, I have some hot seat questions. It's called the Mojo Hot Seat. I came up with it before this podcast, but it's like the quick one-liner answers to end off our show. So, let's see. I created a little graphic, a very, very high tech back there.
Love it.
It's all right. First one: Topps Chrome or Bowman?
Bowman.
Corbin or Gunner?
Corbin.
Prism or Optic?
Optic.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Drake or Kendrick?
Drake.
New York or California?
Right now, New York.
Yeah, I can't. I knew the answer to that. I don't even know why I put it there. Ice cream or yogurt?
Ice cream.
Of course. BGS or PSA?
PSA.
Definitely. Fanatics Fest or the Natty?
Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning that way too. We're trying to figure out our plans, but I'm so excited for something different. And going to New York Javits Center sounds very appealing compared to Cleveland and the IX Center.
I think that's my biggest reason why I said that. Also, the roadmap, what's been shown. I don't know even what's going on with us yet, but it just seems like it's going to be massive. So.
It does. And, we know there's going to be probably drops. There's probably going to be music. You just, it's like the national. I love the national because mainly because I get to see people I haven't seen all year there in person, right? Not just on a screen like this or in a chat. But I love that from that aspect. So I don't want to take it away from that, but like just something new, something
Yeah,
new and exciting is what I'm looking forward to.
for sure.
So, and the national, I was looking at the Breaker Pavilion, and they literally put the Breaker Pavilion like it's like down like in the basement almost. So I was like, I don't know if we're gonna set up there this year. So
Yeah, it's far.
yeah, and they're like, oh, you can't like we're California, so we try to get out of there Sunday, because it's a long flight back, and they're like, you have to set up until 6 p.m. on Sunday. You can't break down until
Nah.
after 6. I'm like, but have you seen the tumbleweeds going through that place?
Just have one person sit there.
Yeah, it's probably what's gonna
Pay a
have to
kid to
happen.
just sit there. Just pay a kid
Yeah.
off the street to sit there with the hat on.
Yeah. I mean, but like we were like, are we gonna invest in a booth? Are we gonna, so it's like all these questions, and then you got 2 weeks later you have Fanatics Fest, and then a week after that you have Burbank. So it's like
It's
good,
tough.
crazy August.
It is. It's tough, but hey, the more the merrier, I hope. And, I think we're going to see more people coming in, maybe less familiar faces at all of them, but we can make what we can make.
Yep, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And summer's around the corner, which means football's around the corner too. And that is the time for collecting in August, man, with the all the promotions, end of July into August with everything coming out. It's such a glorious time.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. My birthday's right around there too, so it's like it's works
August
out.
25th.
Okay, July 28th. So
there we go.
Right there too. Yeah.
There we go.
A lot of times I celebrate my birthday at the National. My family gets mad about that, but it's always that week. So
hey, it is what it is. It's what you're doing for your birthday.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. I'll have to fly them out next time. So well, we can find you at Breaks with Jess on Instagram, and let people know where they can get in touch and grab some stuff from Bleecker.
Yeah, so basically at Bleecker Trading on Instagram, we are actually, I'll announce this here, but we're opening up a new Uptown shop in New York City. So that's coming very soon. So either in the West Village or Uptown. So just follow our Instagram, our Twitter, at Bleecker Trading, and I am Breaks with Jess. And anybody who's watching this who doesn't know me, who wants to get in touch, anybody who wants some advice, I'm very, very open to chatting with anybody about anything sports related, collecting related, and I would love to meet you. And thanks for having me.
You guys have an LA before you guys have a West Coast shop too, right?
So we used to have that, and then we realized our focus would be best in New York City. We do what we do best when all of our good resources are here. So we just kind of
couldn't imagine trying to travel east to west all the time to get product to and from. I mean, that's tough.
I was there like 4 times in a month, and it was 6.5-hour flight got to me. So it got to the rest of our team too. So we just it was a franchise, so we just said, hey, you can take it back over, and we're very, very happy with our location in the West Village, and now coming soon the Upper West Side. So
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, you guys, I always see so many athletes, so much promotion going on. I mean, when I go down there for Fanatics Fest, I got to stop by and check it out in person. So,
and we're gonna grab pizza, a lot of pizza. So just be prepared.
Of course. Yeah.
And
I might be sleeping there because of the amount of pizza I'm gonna eat. I might be like, hopefully you guys have a couch in the back.
We have a couch. We can set up some tents in the backyard because we have a backyard space.
Nice.
Definitely, we'll make it happen.
All right. Well, thanks again for your time. This is a great podcast, and hopefully we'll announce soon Corona Cards podcast coming up.
Yeah, we'd love to do it. Thanks for having me.